Hello, friends. Today we are going to discuss about self awareness, a very important life skill. I'm Dr. Suresh Badadmat, Professor of Psychiatry, working at NIMANS, Bangalore. Before I start my presentation, I would like to place this disclaimer. This presentation is for academic and training purpose only, not for professional opinion. For clinical opinion, please do contact a psychiatrist. Conflict of interest? None. In this video, I'm going to discuss about what is self awareness, what are the different component of self-awareness, and how to improve our self-awareness. This video is targeted to the administration of school and colleges, teachers, policymakers, parents, children, NGO, corporates, and community at large. Let's discuss about self-awareness. See, the first and the foremost, when we say self-awareness, we need to be on the same page. Let's define it. Self awareness involves being aware of different aspects of the self, including traits, personality, desire, strengths, weakness, thoughts, behavior, and feelings. If you look at this definition, it is very comprehensive. It clearly says that being aware of self, which includes traits, personalities, desires, strengths, weakness, thoughts, behavior, and feelings. That means if a person is able to be aware of his own of these components, his self-awareness is considered. Anyone who is seeking for a growth or improvement or a higher goal of spiritual growth needs to actively seek to understand oneself. Without knowing your strengths and weaknesses, without knowing there are some deficits in your personality and traits, without knowing the thoughts and feelings, you may not be able to grow. Once you're able to analyze all these components of your self awareness, you can think of growing into a spiritual person, a person who wants to be successful, a person who can contribute to the society. Hence, self awareness becomes very essential component of life skills. Only when one understands where one lacks can he or she focuses their efforts on what to improve and move forward. That means if you are able to know the deficits in your personality, you're able to focus there and improve, you will be able to be a better person. Now, what is the importance of self-awareness at workplace? Self-awareness is claimed to lead the to be a better decision maker, linked to team performance and authentic leadership. That means a person who is able to be aware of his self, he will be able to do a better decision making. He'll be able to take the team along. A good leader he can become. And finally, the output at workplace improves. So, to summarize, self awareness represents the capacity of becoming the object of one's self attention. That means you are going to keep your attention on self with regard to whether how your personality is there, strengths, weaknesses, and also traits. On those aspects like thoughts, emotions, feelings, you'll be focusing on that. Further, that is called as attention of self. The other important component is assessment of self, both internal and external. Let's spend time here understanding what do you mean by assessment of self, internal and external. Here, self-awareness of internal means what is your thought, your emotions, your desires, your weaknesses, strength, personality traits, what you feel about yourself and what is you are aware, that is called as internal self-awareness. At the same time, you also need to know what is external self-awareness. Here basically, you need to know what the society thinks about you, what the people around you think about you, the community at large, how do they perceive you. So both internal and external self-awareness, if you are able to be in a single plane, that means you are at peace. At the same time, you will be able to work with the people in the community. Further, if you are able to know the deficits in your self awareness and what is the impact on yourself and others around you, maybe family member, relatives, and society at large. Once you know the impact, you need to improve self awareness, or else the deficit in your personality, or else weaknesses. Then you have to work for the advancement of self. So these are the essential components of self awareness, and you need to move forward. Let's understand about the discussion what you had: internal self awareness, external self awareness. The internal self awareness can be high or can be low. External self awareness can be high or low. As I mentioned, what how you perceive yourself with regard to thoughts, emotions, perception, strengths, weaknesses, personality, and traits. The way you perceive yourself is called as internal. Way the world perceives you is external self awareness. It can be high, it can be low. Let's understand the self awareness. If it is low externally and high externally, that means we are talking about self awareness of external, how the world perceives you on the top row. And if you look at the column, you can see self awareness internally if it is high or else low. Here, if you look at this matrix, you'll be able to see what kind of person or a personality can be considered. Here, if you have the high internal self awareness, but you do not know what the community at large knows about you, that means you are introspector. That means you introspect a lot, but you do not take any kind of feedback from the community. That is the important understanding. You're introspector. If you are a high internal self awareness is there, high external self awareness is there, that means you are completely aware, you are at ease with oneself and with the community. If you look at the low internal, but that means you have not focused on self. At the same time, you do not know anything about the community, how they perceive you. That means you are still seeker, or else you do not know. That means here the insight is completely absent. So this is again a problematic one with regard to working in a community or in a team or else with the family members and relatives. Moving further, if you have a low internal self awareness but high external self awareness, that means you are a pleaser. Here, the people perceive you because it is high external, the people perceive you, you are an excellent person. But however, you have a poor self esteem, poor personality, traits, your thoughts, your feelings are not in consonance. That means you are a pleaser. That means you will be having poor quality of life. The best would be the aware. Here, high internal self awareness, high external self awareness. But one need to understand these are the skills which can be learned over a period of time. That's you need to know that. Now let's understand the concept of self awareness. As I mentioned, the self awareness has four important components. That is, the self awareness, what do you perceive of yourself? That is internal self awareness. And the others, it is what the community perceive you. That is external self awareness. What is the impact of this self awareness towards self and others? So, these four components you need to know about self awareness. Let's understand what are the benefits of practicing self awareness or else knowing about self awareness. First and the foremost, the benefits are once you know the strengths and weaknesses, self development improves. You know how to control yourself, you know your self esteem, your problem solving and decision making skills will be at the top notch, and also you will have a job related well being. You know how to deal with emotions, you have a leadership skills, and improve in quality of life. That means you have a 360-degree of well developed personality. Now, the question is how to learn self awareness. As I mentioned, self awareness is very important to be successful in life. First and the foremost is by observing oneself. That means you need to observe your thoughts, your feelings, your sensations, what are your strengths, your weaknesses, and also your personality and traits. How to do this? The best way to do is journaling on the thoughts, emotions, behavior, and sensation. That means, as you know, the emotions, thoughts, behavior, and physical sensations are interconnected. Connected. That means if you are having a good emotions invariably at the same time, you will have a good thoughts, and also your behavior will be positive and physical symptoms will be at the minimal. Now also if it is minimal but at the same time it may be positive, you will be energetic, you will be moving around, you will be happy, content. But however, if the emotions are dull or depressed, your thoughts will be negative, you will be withdrawn, will not be interested to do any work, and your enthusiasm will be at the lowest, and physical symptoms will be weakness, fatigue, tiredness will be there. So it is depending upon the environment, these four factors play a role. Hence, those four factors which I'm talking about, emotions, thoughts, physical symptoms, behavior, environment is the fifth factor. So they interact with each other, and you know how this self awareness plays a role. Here, you need to understand all these five actors and know how to control these so that you will be able to know your self awareness. To do this, you need to do the journaling. So, for the journaling, you have to have a five-column chart. The five-column chart are: first is the time. That means you'll be journaling at least 3 to 4 times a day on a specific time. And the event, the morning when you got up, what are the thoughts you had early morning? Any physical sensations? What are the behaviors? And rate your feelings. -10 is negative feeling, +10 is positive feeling. I'll give an example. Morning, when I got up and saw the newspaper, there was exam results. Also, I cross verified on the internet. Yes, I had my exam results. I saw I had failed in couple of subjects. Immediately, I had a headache, palpitation, felt that what people will be thinking about me, and my friends will think I'm a failure. I had a suicidal thought. I felt like I'm good for nothing. So now, when you rate this, I will have -10. So this is how you're going to document or journaling. Once you do for a pretty long period, maybe around 1 to 2 years, you'll be able to understand your thoughts, feelings, emotions, physical sensation, and how the environment interacts with all these phenomena. So, journaling should be very clearly with regard to thoughts, emotions, and behavior. You need to do ABC analysis. That is, what is the antecedent which triggered these emotions? What was your behavior? What was the consequences of the whole action? That is ABC. And also, once you know the consequences, you need to anticipate, and many a time you should not react. You proactively need to handle the situation, and observing the situation and experiencing the emotion is very essential. That means you need to distance from your reactive mood or reactive behavior. You need to observe the emotions. Yes, I have got these emotions now. I'm very angry. I'm feeling sad. Observe it. Yes, it is a part of life because it is the spectrum of emotions are there in our life, and you need to accept both anger, sadness, but at the same time, when you observe them, you need not get carried away by those emotions. You need to be very clear that, yes, these are my emotions. Yes, I am having sadness because of this event, but I will not act on those emotions. I will learn to regulate those emotions. Need not stop the sadness or anger. You need to just let go of that and accept it. That means you need to be non judgmental about these emotions and thoughts. But however, you have to proactively deal with these issues or thoughts or behavior so that it does not harm you or the others. Second important, dealing with cognitions. I've done a cognitive behavioral therapy series of videos. Please click on the link and you'll be able to know about CBT. So that important videos are available in my channel. Please do visit my channel and subscribe to it. The next important is dealing with emotions. Again, I've made certain videos with regard to coping with emotions. So please do watch and subscribe. Observing someone else's mistake and introspecting them. Here, this is a very essential. That means human need not go through the experience. By seeing the other person going through those experience, a human being can learn. That is called as social learning theory by Albert Bandura in 1965. As per Albert, he clearly said that social learning theory emphasizes the importance of observing, modeling, and imitating the behaviors, attitudes, and emotional reactions of others. Here, basically, you need not do everything or experience everything. You just by observing in another person, you will learn. The best example I can give you is advertisements. In advertisement, the celebrity sports person or else the film actor or actress will come and say this product is good. The people buy it. It is simple reason is social learning theory. Now, the fifth important one is someone providing feedback or telling our mistakes. Here, you need to keep open channel for feedback. So, you need to seek feedback from your close friends, family members, relatives, colleagues, new acquaintance, and other people in the community. Request them to be as critical as possible and constructive as possible to improve your self awareness. By taking those feedback, try to improve on yourself. Here, you know about yourself, that is internal self awareness. You do not know, start focusing on that by journaling. Now you need to move on to external self awareness. For that, this feedback mechanism is the best. Moving to the sixth. Self awareness can also be learned through meditation and yoga. For this, you need to accept it. You need to start doing yoga, various types of meditations. These things will help you in self awareness. And also, you need to give time for meditation, both morning or in the evening or both the times. Practicing yoga in the evening or midday also plays a role with regard to self awareness. Or else, simply focusing on breathing also gives you self awareness. That's a very important skill which can be learned easily. But however, you need to practice. Moving further, the mindfulness has been found to be very helpful to know about the self awareness. Again, I have made an important video with regard to mindfulness. Please click the video. Please click the link to watch that video. Again, here in mindfulness, it is focusing the present moment. That means living in the present moment. If you are thinking about the future, you will be anxious. If you're thinking about the past, invariably you will be sad. So, in mindfulness, it is a systematic mental training that develops mental awareness. That means self awareness. You are going to be in the present moment, focusing on breathing, focusing on how you eat, focusing on looking at the environment and being in the present. That is mindfulness. And also an ability to effectively modulate one's behavior. That is self regulation. Self regulation of emotions are there, self regulations of the behavior. And finally, beyond the normal and physical level, that is mystical experience, it is called as self transcendence. In this scenario, you are not only achieving the goal, you are going beyond the goal to have a spiritual growth. That is mindfulness. So, if you are able to have a mindfulness therapy, which appears to be very simple but very difficult to follow, practice, and earn this mindfulness. Moving to the eighth, reflections of high and low. That means here, this is one important category which I am discussing, which helps you to understand yourself. Now, what you have to do? Reflections on high points. Select few successful events in your life. In the past 10 years, what were the best moments which when you got success? List them, reflect on each event, and identify those factors and aspects in you which contributed to the success. That means you'll focus us on that you have won the cricket match, you contributed to winning of the match in the team, you passed the exam, you won one of the best award. Now you listed them. Look at the factors in you which contributed to those awards or winning or success. Now you see those factors, you can see the trend in each of them. Those trend factors are strengths. If you are able to get validation from your family members, friends, and other people, like maybe team members. Yes, you have got the important factors which play a role in your success. They are all strengths. Similarly, reflection on low points. Select few failures in your life, list them out, start identifying the factors in you which made you to lose or fail. So, if you are able to find those factors, discuss with your friends, family members, get the validation. Yes, these factors have played a role. They are the weakness in your life. Now, you need to work on those factors to remove these weakness. So, this reflection on low points and high points need to be done, if possible, as maybe around 5 to 10 times, so that you will be able to understand how your personality is evolving, how your weakness and strengths are evolving. Coming to the listing out, here you need to request your friends and well wisher to list your strengths and weaknesses. Request them to be as candid as possible to give feedback about your strengths and weaknesses. This is another way of knowing about external self awareness. And finally, once you know about your strengths, weaknesses, your personality, your thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and physical sensation, it is now moving into this self improvement phase. This is the phase you are going to be this self awareness. That is basically, once you have this self awareness, now you have to make attempt to improve yourself. So, for this, you need to seek help from your friends and family members with regard to behavior, how, when it happens. They will give you a feedback. Learn to modulate your behavior at the same time, emotions. Again, if you're finding it very difficult to modulate your emotions, yoga and meditations may help you in modulating your or regulating your emotions. If sometimes it's becoming very difficult to control your thoughts or emotions or behavior, please do seek professional help for assessment, for feedback, and sometimes you may require cognitive behavioral therapy. So, these are the components of self awareness and how to improve self awareness. To conclude, my dear friends, self awareness is the ability to see yourself clearly and objectively through reflections and introspection. While it may not be possible to attain total objectivity about oneself, but an attempt to understand self yields certain degree of self awareness. So, my dear friends, self awareness is an important factor which play a crucial role in success. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time. Stay safe.